All right, thank you all for making it to our monthly UNA Sacramento open meeting for all general members and community members alike. We want to make ourselves as available and transparent as possible in terms of everything we're doing in Sacramento. And so the purpose of this meeting is to just inform you all of our February and March events, as well as how you can get involved with our advocacy efforts, okay? All right. And so, yes, we'll do some, Sadie and I will do some brief introductions. And if you don't mind, Trish, I'll have you introduce yourself as well. And then right after that, we'll just talk about some brief history of our chapter of UNA USA as a whole. And then we're going to jump into our UNA committees, what those are, and how you can get involved with our work, okay? Then right after that, we'll talk about our events for February and March, as I mentioned, and we'll end it with some very specifics beyond joining the committees about how you can get involved with our UNA work. Alrighty. All right. So yes, my name Edgar Trujillo, and let's see. I joined UNA USA back in 2017. I mainly did it because at that time I was very reserved, very shy, and I knew that I needed to put myself out there to really blossom as a person, socially. And so UNA Sacramento, gave me the platform to do that, for anywhere from hosting events to, at this point, leading the chapter. And so it's definitely helped me grow as a person. And it's something that I, love very dearly. And I'm very looking forward to the rest of the year and beyond with UNA Sacramento. So how about you, Sadie? Oh, you're on mute, Sadie. Sorry.
Sorry about that. I had to unmute myself. Yeah, so I'm Sadie Luke. I've been with the chapter since 2017 as well. And so when I first joined, it was actually because I was at the time a student and a member of the Model United Nations Club. And the former president, Megan, came in and gave a presentation actually and informed us about the chapter. And I just was so excited. I wanted to be able to localize the sustainable development goals that I was learning in class and learning in the club. And so, yeah, I joined the chapter, and I at the time and still am very passionate about the changing climate or addressing it. And so, yeah, that was my first priority when I joined as a global goal ambassador for Goal 13 climate action. And yeah, I've grown so much as a person as well. Like I was jumped in on the board and had to plan and run my own event for the first time in my life. And yeah, the experience I've gained with this chapter has built my resume and my skill set so much. And so now I currently work in the social work field for a nonprofit in downtown Sacramento. And yeah, so currently the vice president of the chapter, trying to just assist Edgar in all the amazing work he does. And also the vice president of the advocacy chair, the advocacy chair of the Northern California division. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Thank you, Sadie. And then Trish, you want to take it over?
I'm Trish Blaine. I've been a member since, I believe, November. So I'm a real newbie because I'm new in Sacramento, fairly new in Sacramento. I'm a university professor. I teach history, women's history, Mexican American history. And also, in the past, I worked for the Baha'i International Community of the United Nations in New York. And I've just always had a real interest in the United Nations and the work it does. My particular interest are women's issues and immigration issues. So right now I'm working with the Women's Committee, and we've got some activity, an event planned for March, and some other things in the works.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Trish. And let's see, we'll go ahead and move on to UNA Sacramento history. So briefly, UNA USA as a whole, it's been around for over 70 years. I believe it was founded in 1946. And it's dedicated to supporting, the vital work of the United Nations through various programming efforts. The UNA USA recognizes that the UN, is crucial to promoting human rights, protecting the environment, and advancing global health and well-being. And we believe that UN is stronger when it is united for a future that works best for everyone. And so UNA Sacramento has been active in Sacramento since 1955. We are 100% volunteer run, and our bread and butter is hosting informational events. Back when we had in-person events, we had a lot of cultural celebrations. Oftentimes, Sacramento has a sizable refugee population, and a lot of people, when they would first arrive, didn't know anyone and didn't have any social networks. And so we would put on potlucks where we would invite refugees to come and bring a dish of their choice, and talk about it, and then mingle and connect with other like-minded folks. And so we used to do that. Fingers crossed, when everything goes back to normal, we can continue with that amazing program. We also do a lot of robust advocacy with our local and nationally elected officials, mainly Congresswoman Doris Matsui, Congressman Ami Bera, and we just inform them about the tremendous value that the UN brings to the world. All right, so that's a little bit of about our history. And then just to give you a sense of where we fit within the UN as a whole. And so right underneath the United Nations is the United Nations Foundation. Here, I'll read a little bit about them. The UN Foundation is the go-to partner for the United Nations, bringing together the ideas, people, and resources it needs to drive global progress and tackle urgent problems. And so underneath the UN Foundation is a Better World Fund. And this is a Better World Fund. It is a premier educational and advocacy platform driving support for the United Nations and UN causes in the United States. And so two of the flagship programs of the Better World Fund is the Better World Campaign and then United Nations Association of the United States of America, which is us. And then right underneath them, and actually we get our 501c3 nonprofit status from the Better World Fund. We have a group ruling. And so right underneath them is the UNA USA as a whole, which is composed of over 20,000 members across the nation in all 50 states and territories. And then right underneath that is UNA Sacramento, us, all right? And so a little bit more about us. Currently, we have 80 general members. So these are members that pay dues on a quarterly basis, anywhere from $25 to, some members can provide more. And so we've gotten donations of $2,000, which is fantastic. Doesn't happen often. But yes, these 80 general members, we everything that we do is for them, but also for the community. And so being a general member is the easiest way that you can get involved with our work. Beyond that, we have 12 active board members. So myself, I'm a board member, Trish and City, and then others are board members. And anyone can become a board member. Elections are up in November, but we did lose a board member, and so there's a vacant position now if anyone's interested, and I can talk more about that later during the Q&A. We have 7 active committees that anyone can be part of, and so I will talk more about the committees, but essentially, the way we do our work is each committee is comprised of a specific social cause. And then it's up to each committee has a committee lead, and then that committee lead is responsible for spearheading all the meetings, following up with the next steps, and generally helping to deliver the product of whatever that committee is working on. And so we have UNA Women Committee, we have our COVID-19 Impact Team, and we have several more. And so I'll talk about those specifically when we get to that slide, okay? In terms of money, let's see, we have in our checking $1,358.37. And our savings, we have $4,803.37. So a little bit over $6,000 in total. And I just mentioned that again, because we are nonprofit. We try to be as transparent as possible. And it takes money to put on a lot of the, outreach and programming efforts that we do. So, something that I've been very consistent about is that I don't want any board members to use their own money unless they really, really want to. This is why we have general members that pay us dues. This is why we get donations to put on all of these, events, and so that none of us have to pay out of pocket. Alrighty, let's see here. Alrighty, Sadie, take it away.
Yeah, so my monthly advocacy update for February is obviously it's hooray, we are now no longer on the defense with the Trump administration gone. That changes things for us a lot, but I'm going to give a national update, a regional update, and then a little local one. And so for nationally, that's about it. Like the U.S. is now back in the back committed to the Paris Accord agreements and and the back in the Human Rights Committee, the World Health Organization. Yeah, lots of good news that we were fighting for all these years, and now just like that happens. So that's nationally. Things are now changing back to just asking for full funding and paying our dues and so regionally, the only update I really have is that for the Northern California division is going to be partnering with the Southern California division of UNA to have a meeting and kind of like a meet and greet style meeting with Senator Alex Padilla, excuse me. And so that hasn't officially been set up yet. We just agreed to participate in this meeting. We were invited by the Southern California division and we just recently agreed. And so it hasn't been officially set yet, but they want to have it in a couple months in the beginning of summertime. And so, and then for locally, next week or the week after is the beginning of the congressional recess. And so I have put in a request to have a meeting with both Congressman Ami Bera and Matt Suey. I decided to include Bera because although most of Sacramento is in Matt Suey's district, we have many, many members who live within Bera's district. And so I haven't got confirmation yet, but I'm hoping we'll have meetings with them either, I can't remember if it's next week or the week after, but I'm still waiting back for confirmation. And so, it's just a quick little update for this month, but that's all.
Excellent. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sadie. All righty. So we'll move along to our committees. So as I mentioned, the way we do all of our work is within our committees. And so these are the committees that we have. We have our COVID-19 impact team. We have UN Women Committee. We have Peace for Palestine and Israel Committee. We have a Climate Action Committee. We have a Human Rights Committee. We have a Fundraising Committee. And we have a Blue Ribbon Committee. Now, we did plan for additional committees, but these are the committees that seem to be most active right now. And so those are the ones that I went ahead and included. Let me actually show you, I think I can show you that, how you can sign on to the committees. Let's see. Am I sharing my screen correctly? Oh, I think I am sharing the screen. Okay, so if you go to our website, at the very top, you hover over Join Us. And you see UNA committees. When you click on that, it'll take you to our website, which includes all the committees that were just listed on the PowerPoint. So we have our UNA Women Committee, we have a Human Rights Committee, and we have little blurbs per committee so you can understand more about what you would get, about the expectations of each committee. So for instance, the Human Rights Committee is members of this committee wholeheartedly believe that human rights are inalienable fundamental rights that are inherent in all human beings, regardless of their age, ethnic origin, location, language, religion, ethnicity, or any other status. As such, we condemn all acts of human rights abuses perpetuated at home and abroad. And the goal of this committee is to highlight human rights abuses happening around the world and present on what the UN is doing about it. And so the Human Rights Committee does have an upcoming event for the end of February that I'll touch on, but more events that we want to put on with this committee is some sort of, informational, like awareness meetings. Mostly in my head, I want to talk about the Uyghur, Muslim genocide situation that's going on in China that not many people are talking about. I'm learning a lot about it, and it's quite frightening, that everything from forced human harvesting, to separating women and children, selling off the children. There's so many things that are going on that I'm just, it's mind-boggling that there's not much more in international condemnation of this awful genocide going on right now. And so this is something that I feel very passionate about that we'll be doing later in the year. But yes, this is how you can go ahead and sign up for our Human Rights Committee. You just click on sign up. We have our COVID-19 impact team over here, which largely consists of food deliveries. So since April of 2020, we were doing bi-monthly food deliveries to undocumented and asylum-seeking families in Sacramento. And so we put a temporarily pause on it because a lot of the food was from donations and we ran out of donations. And so we're hoping to jumpstart it back up in March. more to come on that committee. We have a climate action committee. And so the climate's erratic and aggressive weather patterns these last couple of years has confirmed that climate change is no hoax. All right. Members of our climate action committee shall meet to discuss matters related to climate action and develop programming to raise awareness on matters related to reducing greenhouse gases and adapting to climate change. So you can go ahead and sign up for that. For our Peace in Palestine and Israel committee, so members of this committee seek to bring awareness and education to the greater Sacramento community about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict that has been ongoing for a long time, over 70 years. And so we believe that Palestinians have the right to self-determination and a right to return to their land. And at the same time, we recognize that Israel absolutely has an unconditional right to exist. Our desire is to find common understanding amongst the Israelis and Palestinians so that we can come to the table and discuss how both peoples can best reach the desired outcome, peace for all. And so we are actively working on bringing Dr. Hanan Ashrari. She was an executive member of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO. And so we're in talks with her office to bring her to not to bring her to Sacramento, but bring her virtually to Sacramento. And so more to come on that initiative. Let's see, we have our fundraising committee because we wish we weren't true, but the world does run on money. And so everything that we do, has overhead costs. And so the goal of this committee is to brainstorm innovative and creative ways to fundraise and support all of our programming and outreach campaigns. And then I wish Tara was here so she can talk a little bit more about the Blue Ribbon Committee. Our communications chair, Tara Abraham, is spearheading this. And so I'll quickly read this quick thing that she wrote. The Who I Am Makes a Difference Blue Ribbon Ceremony was born out of Elise Bridges' desire to create a world where all people would feel connected, valued, and loved. UNA Sacramento will be spearheading future Blue Ribbon ceremonies, and we welcome anyone that wishes to be part of a global team helping to unite humanity through the power of love for this generation and all generations to come. And so if you go ahead and click on any of the signups, say we want to join the Climate Action Committee, it will take you to our, let me see, are you all seeing what I'm saying? Yes, it will take you to our UNA Sacramento volunteer interest form. So this is the main form that we use to recruit new volunteers. We ask for your email, your name. If you would like to give us your phone number, that would be great. What is your age as well? If you are a UNA member, what type, or if you're not registered yet. And then we ask what you hope to get out of volunteering with us. You can either become a board member, meet local representatives, join a committee. If you need a resume booster, this is it. Networking opportunities. If you only want to volunteer for 3 months or so, we have that opportunity as well. And then right after that is where you would sign up for a committee if you would like. And so these are all the committees listed there. We ask you to list some, general info and background about yourself. And then we ask how you heard about us. And then lastly, if you're not already receiving our awesome newsletter, you can go ahead and sign up for that. And so I get all the notifications of anyone that fills out this interest form and follow up immediately. So if you're interested in, our UN Women Committee or COVID-19 Impact Team, I will know and I will follow up with you so that we can, hash out the next steps and get you busy. So yes, this is how you sign up for our UNA committees. I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint now. Okay, this is it. Alrighty, and I think we left off. Oh, okay, we left off on committees. All right. And so our activity calendar. So let's see. This year, or rather in February 6th, we had our World Interfaith Harmony Week virtual celebration. And so we partnered with 5 other organizations in Sacramento to showcase 8 presenters of varying faiths. We had 2 musical performances from music prodigy Neil Nair, and we had beautiful Native American flute melodies, from flute whisperer Maria Costellas. It was our most popular event up to date, and so we were very thrilled with the response. The event is currently on our YouTube channel, which you can access by going to our website At the very top of our website, on the top right, you'll see various icons, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So go ahead and click on that YouTube icon, and it'll take you to the YouTube events that we've recorded. And that's where we'll be posting all of our events moving forward. We obviously have our UNA Open meeting today, and then we have the UNA USA Global Engagement Summit. And so let's see, this is a really, really big event. It's a national event spearheaded by the UNA USA National Office. And throughout the 2 days of programming, you'll have the opportunity to connect with fellow UN advocates on the issues most important to you. You're going to hear from UN officials in the field about life-saving work of UN agencies around the world. And you're going to learn how to become an even more effective advocate for the UN, for the United Nations, and so much more. The theme will be From Moments to Movements, Solidarity for Sustainability. Oh, we have a new member. Okay. The theme will be From Moments to Movements, Solidarity for Sustainability, and it will bring together change makers, young professionals, UN representatives, lawmakers, students, and influencers who want to seize the moment and stand in solidarity to support the United Nations. Over 3,000 people have signed up thus far, and I believe the limit is 5,000, so there's still plenty of space. The event is happening this week. I encourage you all to sign up, okay? For every single event that we're mentioning here, you can sign up via unasacramento.org/events, all right? And then moving on. I said moving on, all right. And so we still have one more event in February, and that's our event we're titling the First Declaration of Human Rights. And so we invite everyone to come to this free virtual event to learn about one of the greatest leaders in ancient human history, Cyrus the Great, whose egalitarian empire led to the world's first Declaration of Human Rights, the Cyrus Cylinder, which is displayed there on the flyer. So scholar of cultural history, Dr. Afshan Zand, he's a scholar from Harvard University. He'll be delivering a lecture presentation to present some of the primary evidence on this great historical figure's contributions towards human rights. He'll be talking about how the Cyrus Cylinder influenced the US Constitution, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and much more. So it will be a jam-packed event full of information. I encourage you all to come on February 27th at 2 p.m. That's a Saturday, all right? And then we also, in March, we partnered with UNA Davis for International Women's Day. And we're having this event that we're titling Peacemakers Around the World with author Barb Chambliss. And so Barb Chambliss is the author of Women Peacemakers, What We Can Learn from Them. And she'll be sharing stories of remarkable women who made the world a better place through their courage and leadership. And so she'll be talking about stories from Asia, Africa, the Americas, and the Middle East to illustrate the major challenges that these women faced, in the work that they were doing. And so this event is on March 7th. It's, I want to say it's also a Saturday. I want to say yes, I just want to confirm. It's a Sunday. So this event is on a Sunday at 2 p.m. We all hope you all can make it. It's going to be fantastic. And then let's see, our UN Women Committee spearheaded this event. Trish, would it be okay if I handed the floor to you briefly so you can talk a little bit about this event?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. As you might be able to see from the flyer there, we have put together an event. It's a panel discussion. The topic is discrimination in healthcare toward Black women in Sacramento. Our three speakers are three healthcare workers in Sacramento. They're all female and they're all African American. So we'll have each of them talk for a while, and then we'll have a short Q&A afterward. So that's our women's event for March. It marks both Women's History Month and also International Women's Day.
Yes, yes, wonderful. Thank you so much, Trish. And as I mentioned, you can sign up for all of our events at unasacramento.org/events. Everything will be via Zoom, okay? All right. So if you like what you heard and you're interested in, work and helping us be UN advocates, some of the ways you can get involved is by joining one of our committees. I talked about those and how to go about enjoying those. You can go to our website under the Join tab and click on UNA committees, and that's where you'll go ahead and find out more information about our committees. You can also volunteer and help us with our food deliveries that we're hoping to jumpstart back up in March. So fingers crossed that we can do that. You can become a board member now or at the elections in November, depending, um, on your time limitations. You can also sign up for our mailing list and our monthly newsletter, in which I promote all UNA USA events, but also related events, regarding human rights, sustainable development, climate action, and more. If you would like to propose a project of your own that aligns with our mission, vision, and values, you can go ahead and propose it. And as you saw from earlier, we do have money, and so we can help you fund any sort of project that you would like to bring to fruition, okay? And then lastly, you can just become a general member. That's no commitments. You just come and attend our events. Hopefully when we go back to in-person events, you can come and meet us. Um, these are pretty much the bullet points about how anyone can get involved with UNA Sacramento, and our advocacy work. Alrighty, so I will open up the floor. I know there's only a few of us, but that's okay. I'll open up the floor to any questions that anyone might have in regards to anything that I said or maybe didn't say. Can go ahead and ask me, or even post it on the chat box. Let's see.
Hi, I joined the Zoom late, so you might have mentioned it, but what board positions are available?
Yeah, let's see. We are looking for an education chair, and the education chair, basically what that would entail is taking like the sustainable development goals that were adopted in 2015 by all 193 member states, and figuring out creative ways to promoting those to the community. A lot of people still don't know about the global goals, and the UN 2030 agenda is nearing. We're only 9 years away from the goals that we would like to achieve. And so that's one position that's available, the education chair, just advocacy and education about the global goals. You could be just a board member, a general board member, or if you have like a specific passion or like a specific interest that you really want to focus on, we can make a new position for you. And it's really easy. It's just a matter of proposing it to us, and we'll discuss it briefly amongst the board and then just vote on it. So those are the positions. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I was just going to give like a quick example. When I first joined this organization, there wasn't any like necessarily board member like openings really, but I like particularly was really passionate about addressing the changing climate in Sacramento. And so they created the Global Goals Ambassador for Climate Action, Goal 13. So yeah, if there's anything like in particular that anyone is like really passionate about, like using UNA USA as a platform, then we'll find a space for you.
Yeah, and we do have resources. We have Google nonprofit, so we can make anyone an official UNA Sacramento email, with a legitimate like signature and everything. So you would have resources available to you to help you bring to fruition whatever you would want to work on. Yeah. Any more questions? I will mention that tomorrow is our UN Women meeting. And so we try to meet kind of like every 2 weeks to talk about mainly the event that we put together for March 11th, but we'll be talking, about more initiatives that we want to, bring forward to Sacramento. So I will make a point of sharing the Zoom link for our UN Women meeting that we're having tomorrow at 6 p.m. For anyone that would like to just come and observe, you don't necessarily have to participate, but we are trying to recruit as many people as possible. So I'll go ahead and send the Zoom link for that, because it's not available on our website currently. So I'll be doing that. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I've said a lot of information. It was quite a bit. But the big bullet points that I want folks to take away is that you can get really it's really easy to get involved with our work. Just go to our website, um, look at the committees that we have ongoing, and if any of those interest you, go ahead and sign up, and I will immediately get your inquiry, and I'll follow up with you, and we'll bring you on board. I think that's the easiest way to for anyone in the community to get involved with our advocacy work. Alternatively, you can just email me at president@unasacramento.org with any questions or inquiries. And with that said, does anyone have any lasting questions before I call it a day?
I want to make a comment. First, thank you very much, Edgar,
Mhm.
and everybody else, Trish and Sadie. A great presentation, and I think this is very informative for people who wants to join. And I commend you for really creating. I remember 2017 we met in North Division for the first time, and oh boy, you have gone far from that point. Really, the Sacramento chapter bloomed beautifully. As you know, maybe some of the members don't know, I'm a member of the Davis chapter, and often we collaborate these two chapters, Sacramento and Davis, together. But we haven't been very active during last year for many reasons, and because we don't have a well-based, we don't have a very good website, and virtually don't have those means. That's why it also a little bit put us behind. But I'm so glad to know that you are doing such a great job, and I'm thinking about I really like to attend your committee meetings. To me, all of them are very interesting. And I'm wondering if it's okay that I attend them. I'm not sure that I've been involved with all of them, but what I'm thinking is that just learning more about what you are doing, then I'm thinking more how we can collaborate. Also, how I can reach other people, that we all have this great network of people who, especially in last 4 years, everybody's been very active and try to do and make changes. We have those connections, and although the regime has changed and the pressure from one side is lifted, but there is a monumental work ahead of us that we need to do, and we need this momentum, this energy, put it in work. Then what I would like to do is, if you don't mind, I come to the meetings and try learn more, understand more, then I be the advocate and bring more people, talk about this, and maybe we can have a better collaboration between these two chapters as well. I work in Sacramento in state water board. Then a great number of my friends are from Sacramento, and also I live in Davis, and member of the UNA in Davis, and also AUW, Association of American University Women. Then I have also a network here in Davis. Then I really like to take advantage of the great platform and work that you're doing. Then hopefully we can do more and bring more people to this platform.
Yes, yes, absolutely, Lali. I'm so thrilled that you're excited to join all of our work. You know, even if it's just observing initially, like
Yes.
what you said about bringing people, you know, to us. That's like something that we're struggling with. Like we're doing so much good work, but no one knows about it. How do we get our name out there?
Yes.
You know, and we have several strategies, but like what you said, just bringing people to the table, to our table, that would be such a great, you know, benefit and help to us. So
Mhm.
so yes, I will keep you in all of our for all of our emails when we're gonna meet with our committees, Lale, so you can just, you know, see if you're available on your calendar to just at least attend and observe, and you know, we
Yes.
can go from there. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely something that I learned in advocacy, and the year that we went to DC, it was about that everything, the most important part of advocacy is storytelling.
Hmm.
Nothing have that much of effect that if you have a story about it. And I really love your website. I really like the explanation of the committees, the platform, everything is wonderful. But still, I think there is a disconnect, as you said.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm thinking about maybe in some of the other events that we have in Davis, we can have invitation of you as or members of committee that could come and give a presentation. There's so many ideas that we make this stories uh, being told in different
Hmm.
places. Then
Hmm.
through stories we can communicate with others and bring the community together. um, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think this is a great idea, a great opportunity. I'm so glad and so thrilled. And as I said, I really am very proud of all of you. You did a great job, and I'm hoping that with your help also we have this symbiotic and mutual effect, kind of synergy, that we can revitalize also Davis chapter, because as you know, we have Verena who has this institutional knowledge and background and power, and we have great members in Davis as well, but not much active because um,
Hmm.
they have all potential. There is so much potential.
No, yes,
Yeah.
no, we're stronger together. And Sadie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that yeah, we had like our website, like one of the huge barriers that we were facing that we didn't realize until after we updated the website was that alone. And so yeah, we've just gotten so much more active just under Edgar's reign this like recently. And so
Mhm.
yeah, we're like on a upward trajectory. And so yeah, the website is like a huge token to that. And so yeah, it's like how people get engaged, it's how they know about the issues, it's how yeah, I agree that Davis like is so great, so powerful, so many great, so much potential. And yeah, that's where if I had any suggestions, I don't really feel like I have the authority to give suggestions, but that's where I would start is like with the website.
No, definitely. Yeah, that this is a great suggestion, and that's what we really need, because
Hmm.
um, that's how we communicate. That's how, and the other thing is that I guess because of so many reasons, there is a resistance, the change, that it's natural. But anyway, at this time, we have to overcome the social media, the terrible things about the social media, but also the best of it is the
Benefits.
part that
I
we need
know
to tap
it's been a
into
weird
that
transition.
part, and that's something that Davis definitely we are missing. And yeah, that's another discussion that maybe sometime, some other time we could have, that how uh, since you already overcame this obstacle and already have such a great website, then how we can get help from you and see that what we need, what we can do. But these are all areas they can work. And yeah, definitely. And the more that we get, we have events we have information, then the better we can add to each other program and more enrich it. Then definitely, as I said, it's a synergy.
Yeah, so does the Davis chapter, do you guys have like a communications chair and like a marketing plan and stuff? I feel like, yeah, do you guys have, like, we can start like promoting each other's stuff on each other's social medias, like to start there with collab? Like, do
Yes.
you guys have a solid like communications chair who's in charge of the Davis chapter social media?
Mm-hmm. You know, Davis chapter is pretty much one woman,
Raina? Yeah.
and
She's great. Raina's
she's
amazing.
great, and she's doing everything. And I think that she has spoiled the whole city and the entire members. And she's doing such a great job that even helping her, she's such a perfectionist and doing everything to such a quality that it's a little bit intimidating that you want to even help, because you can't ever you know, reach that perfection. But I think we can work this out, and that somehow helping each other to come to these changes. And you're right, I think the website is a great thing right now for our events. Verena create the flyers and email and also mail with snail mail with the personalized
Wow.
email, and also writing to all the members.
Wow.
You know, that's very commendable, right? But then we have those things. And Edgar, normally, if we have any events, if we communicate on time with him, included in your also newsletter. But I think we need to be, from our side, we need to be more active, and maybe once we work with each other, then maybe if we forget, Edgar come and, you know, ask us, okay, what do you have? And in this way, keep each other updated and help from this great platform that you have. Yeah. But when it comes to the social media, for some reason, I get your, for instance, for this event for March, Cyrus the Great. Oh no,
Yes.
the February 27th, first
Oh, yes.
declaration. Yeah, I got it, I guess, a month ago, and I totally forgot about it on Facebook. And I already said, but I forgot about it. And again, last week you brought it up in the summary of report of your chapter. It came to my mind, and I went and said, oh, I already signed it. But something else, that how we can just circulate more these events. And as I said, once we start to work together, I think we can create a system that systematically we promote more these events. Then now that it came to my attention, then I definitely share specifically on my personal social media this to other people, because I'm sure that many will be interested. I'm very I'm sad that I missed your earlier meeting, the interfaith event. But you have also YouTube. But
Yes.
in future events, that's something else that somehow, if we, even if, as I said, we are not haven't been very active, but I try to be more active especially in communication with you. Then definitely we can promote these events better, and likewise for our events also make sure that you and your members, you know about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that you were interested in the first Declaration of Human Rights event, and then you like forgot about it, and then were reminded. That's a good reminder for us to start like sharing it more, and like maybe even on my personal social media, I might share the flyer a couple times
Yes.
just to like, remind people a little bit. The speaker is going to be really great for that event.
Yes.
So, I'm excited
Yeah,
for it.
definitely. Definitely. All your events are very interesting.
I know the Interfaith Harmony event was seriously so great. I watched it I watched like pieces of it like 3 times since it's been ended because it's on YouTube, but I also saw that it's still like on our Facebook page because it was on our Facebook Live, and so it's still posted. And so like I've been able to like go back and watch some of my favorite parts because it was actually like I really really enjoyed that event. So yeah, it was great. It's still live, or not live, but you should watch it.
Well, accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, still
Wonderful.
accessible.
Wonderful. Yeah. Reminder of the events is good, and also circulating with different members that somehow pop up in the Facebook, then come to your mind, because nowadays all the events are online, and I lost track of what's going on when, and yeah, definitely it's good to come to your attention. Yeah, definitely. But thank you again. Thank you.
It's so nice to hear from you, Lale. I'm wondering if the other 2 ladies who've been so quiet have anything to ask or anything to say. Hello, other ladies.
It's okay. No
Apparently
pressure.
not. You don't have to. You don't have to. I just want to say,
Yes.
you had something to say, we'd like to hear it. And I think we lost Joanne too. I think she must have had to go.
Yeah, we were doing introductions in the beginning, and I think she thought she would have to introduce herself, and so she left as soon as we were done introducing ourselves. But no, yeah, we don't like to put people on the spot if they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
What I will say, right? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's somebody.
Hi, Muriel.
No, I didn't mean to put anybody on the spot. I just thought I don't want to conclude this and walk away if they had something to say, or questions or some contribution. But nobody's required to say something.
Well, this is the first at least Zoom meeting I've managed to come to in recent years. So I'm going to check out the Climate Action Committee.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Yes, we're glad to have you, Muriel. And Lale, I'll briefly just say that you talking about wanting for UNA Davis to be more active, that just gave me the idea that I think I should just reach out to Verena for every single one of our events and see if she would want to be a co-sponsor. It would be as easy of having her logo on everything, on the flyer, the registration, and even offering Verena like 5 minutes if she would like to talk. Because I just think it just makes sense to do that. So I made a quick note that follow up with Verena to see if she'll co-sponsor our human rights event, all of our events moving forward.
Wonderful. That's a great idea, Edgar. That's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So more to come on that that partnership with UNA Davis. But yes, I said quite a bit, and so it's almost 7. I'm gonna go ahead and wish you all an excellent rest of your evenings. Thank you so much for coming. I will follow up with everyone. Yes, I will follow up with everyone who by email with our UN Women Committee link. Our UN Women event, our UN Women Committee meeting is happening tomorrow, February 17th at 6 p.m. for those that would like to attend and simply observe. We welcome you. So with that said, again, thank you all so much, and I wish you all an excellent evening, okay?
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Nice
night.
meeting you. Bye.
Bye.